Amen. Thanks again, Father Gabriel. We're here tonight because our CEO, Dr. Burnham, made it absolutely clear that it's very important that we receive community input as it relates to the challenges that this school district faces relative to school utilization and also our fiscal issues that we have, our fiscal crisis that we have. So it's important that we provide you, and we hope that you hear us, allow us the opportunity to communicate with you, but more importantly, that you take the opportunity to provide us concrete input that we can use, because we recognize that these are your schools, this is your community.
We're trying.
So we would hope that as we interact tonight, that the information, your interaction with us, is a way that you give us information that is good news. We do understand and we do respect that this is going to be a very passionate discussion. This will not be the only discussion, but we beg of you to please respond to us in a way and give us information that is useful. There are a number of leaders from Chicago Public Schools that are here tonight, and I want to make sure that you know who they are, because they are a part of this process of listening to the information that we take back. The most important leadership is of schools. We have Mr. John Price, who's the chief of Burnham Park Network here. Sitting right next to him is Mr. Eric Pruitt, Mr. Pruitt, who is the deputy chief of the network here, and then also Mr. Art Slater, who's the chief of Southside High School. Mr. Slater, you raise your hand. Also, I think it bears mentioning that there are a number of other leaders in Chicago Public Schools that are here and will be participating throughout the night. We don't have the time to call them by name, but I would love for them to raise their hands so you recognize there is leadership here participating in this room. Many of them also in the back of the room. Thank you so much. So here's the process tonight. We know that you've received information relative to this issue of school utilization. When you walk into the room, you should have received 3 pieces of paper. You just want to take a check and make sure you have them. One is a fact sheet from Chicago Public Schools that says key facts about school utilization in CPS. The second is a list of all the Burnham Park Network schools by name. You should have that. That is also front and back. And finally, if you have not registered to come to the microphone and provide us comment, you still have the opportunity to do so. You should have a form that says CPS Community Meeting Feedback Form. We're very serious in this information back. To my left, I want to introduce Ms. White, who is a court reporter, who's here, who will be taking comments or be recording each of the comments that is made at the microphone, plus with whatever you give provide us in writing. That information is going to be compiled into a report for Dr. Burnham. So I encourage you to take part in that process. About midway point into the meeting, we're going to ask we're going to invite individuals to participate in a breakout session that we will have outside of this door in the room, about 100 feet or so away. We'll meet you. You'll have CPS staff to meet you. The purpose of the breakout session is to take the opportunity to talk in a more granular way about your schools. So if you have 5 or 6 individuals that you hang with tonight with your school, I would encourage you, please have some representation in the breakout session specifically about how any proposed changes may impact your student relative to safety, resources, programming, etc. Plus, if you have ideas how the district can better look at how we align resources, we need that information. And that information, we can't get it in just a 2-minute spiel at the microphone. So we encourage you to do that. But nevertheless, let me make it clear that as long as, for the next 2 hours, as long as we have individuals signed up to make public comment, we will hear your public comment. Okay? Mr. Yair Rodriguez, this gentleman here will be handling the public participation portion. So he will go down the list and call the schools. We have asked that you provide 2 to 3 representatives from each school to give your public comment. That's to ensure that every school, and as many as possible, every individual that signed up to have a comment, that we have the time allotted for them to do so. Okay? The last thing that I will do is say that we have several public officials here. I know we have Representative Ken Duncan and also Alderman Pat Dowd here. They will be our first 2 speakers, and after that, Mr. Rodriguez will call the schools in alphabetical order. You hear me?
We're going to welcome to the stage Speaker Ken Duncan. Thank you. Good evening. I'm Ken Duncan. I'm the state representative for this district. I am here on behalf of my kids as well. My kids, all 3 of my kids, attend public school. 2 of them are currently there. I'm a public school product myself here in Chicago. I live right down the street. I'm simply here to really thank you the public, you the students, you the administrators, you the community leaders, the local school council leaders, my own Alderman here, Alderman Pat Down, for being here and lending your voice. Because us politicians and a lot of us administrators don't necessarily know exactly everything that's going on. But you're right there. You're right there in the trenches every single day dealing with our babies. So much respect to you. Please make it plain. This is about the future of our kids. And we need them educated. We don't need politicians like myself or administrators who mean well making mistakes, making the wrong decisions when it comes to all of our babies. So I want to, again, to lift you up and celebrate you. I wish I could say for this meeting, I was at the one before with my Alderman about several weeks ago. And this is all recorded. You'll be on the record. Again, make it plain, educate this town so they won't make any haste decisions that's going to impact us all. Thank you all. My name is Ken Duncan, and I'm your state representative. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Please forgive me for turning my back. My colleagues from CPS, because they need to listen for a second today. To CPS, you know, the Burnham and Pershing networks have been the focus of CPS actions in the past. CPS has closed many of our schools for under-enrollment and poor performance, Raymond, Farron, Addicts, McCorkle, and many others. And we're tired of that. The closing of our schools has had a destabilizing impact on our community. You can just stand at the corner of 35th and King Drive anytime school gets out, and our corners are inundated with high school students because we have too many high school students in our community who don't live in that community. So the impact of closing our schools has been to safety problems. It has led to more underutilization. It's like a guinea pig. Our community is being treated like a guinea pig that's on that wheel. You know? It just keeps going and keeps going and it keeps leading to more underutilization, more safety problems. CPS is also disinvested in our schools. I was at Beethoven the other day, walked into that computer room. I could not believe how old the computer systems were there. And John, you and I were at the Williams School, and you saw for yourself the old equipment that's there. Woodson has old textbooks. I know someone who has a son there, who had a son there, and he was using textbooks that his father used. And recently, just last week, we had, I know this is not the Burnham network, but last week we had a student that was arrested for carrying a gun in school, unloading. That particular school, which is in my ward, but not in the Burnham network, has no social workers. So CPS has disinvested in the schools, and we're tired of that too. So, before you close any more schools, especially in the third ward, I ask that you rationalize the education system in the area and our schools. That's not just done downtown on Clark Street, but it's done with the people that are most affected. The Bronzeville Community Action Council, in the case of the Burnham Network, the LSCs, and with all due respect to Phil Hampton, we can't do that in this current meeting. We also have to look at the data, because I think people in my community know more about what's going on in their schools than the bureaucrats. And I will say too that as you go through this process, you're going to have to deal with the charter schools. Because I think that the charter schools have to be measured on the same standards as CPS schools. Because on the one hand, you're saying, we don't have any money. But then you're going to open up charter schools. And that does not make sense to the average person. The receiving schools, the law says that if you close a school, the child has to go to a higher performing school. Find one in the third ward. Receiving schools have to be better schools. And if you are going to close a school in my community, my expectation is that the school that child is going to go to is going to have books, technology, academic supports, social supports, good HVAC systems, air conditioning. Our students must be in a better position when this is over with. And then finally, you already left me with buildings that are sitting empty. Farron's, the old attic school is empty, McCormick's empty. We need to come up with a reuse plan for those schools, and that has to be part of this process. So I'm willing to work with you. My community is willing to work with you. We're not going to all get it done tonight. But before an announcement is made about the closing of these schools, at least in my ward, I want it done in a way that involves people and we understand the decisions that CPS is making. We don't want to react, we want to be proactive. Thank you very much.
We're going to be in our round of saying to school now. Thank you all for that out. We're going to be with Ariel School. Can you please send up 2 representatives to speak at the mic? Ariel, 2 representatives from Ariel. Going once, twice. Okay. Alex? Is Alex present? Just 2 representatives, please, and each one will have 2 minutes, for a total of 4 persons. Thank you. Don't be nervous.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me this moment to address the importance of keeping the hopes and dreams of Adams Academy students alive. My name is Burnham, and I am proud to say that I am the principal of Christmas Adams Academy, home of the Eagles. I became the principal of Adams about 1.5 years ago and saw that many were ready to soar like eagles, but did not have that capacity. We sought to soar as we educate, inspire, and transform not only our students, but our community at large. After completing internship in several districts, I was able to know what is Adams missing that's evident in other successful schools. I set about the task of implementing those ideas and strategies into Adams instructional base. Understanding that key people are the key to success, I have recruited and retained teachers that serve as leaders with experience and endorsement in major areas such as reading, math, and science. Under my leadership, we worked as a team and created a vision that would address the whole child, that would prepare them for moving beyond high school into college and careers as we seek to educate, inspire, and transform our students. We have upgraded our technology. We don't have those computers in the past. To provide computers for every child entering into our 2 computer labs. Programs in those labs include campus learning, ST Math to guide our students through spatial reasoning, and through a grant from the Burnham Network, all of our first grade teachers are working with a technology program that puts differentiated instruction at the fingertips of our children through iPads and iPods. Our new board certified science teacher has brought in the band science program from the University of Illinois and a school-wide science fair where all of our children were able to use that technology for completing research to support their funding. Students and parents are being transformed continuously as we go down a different path than in years before. If the criteria for schools closing is underutilization, then we do not fit into that category. Every inch of our school is utilized to educate, inspire, and transform our students. From the classrooms that hold small RTI rooms to the science labs to the music room. Our school is not underutilized, but filled to capacity with learning for the future.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Reverend Burnham, and I am the LSC chairperson of Adams School. I'm a mother, a grandmother, and a great-grandmother. I have been involved in the school system for the past 35 years. And over those 35 years, I and died. And at this time, our schools are going down. I'm here to represent Addis School to let you know that 49% of our children at the school are homeless. They have been displaced. They have been moved around like checkers on a checkerboard. And we are tired of our schools closing, moving our kids without a decent education. I feel like that you should take into consideration not the cost of the buildings, but the understanding and the education for our children. We as parents are tired of people making decisions for us, for our children. You are telling us how to feed them, how to close them, where to send them, but I don't see nobody taking care of them. Our children is not getting the education that they need, and neither are we blind. As I understand, about 15 to 20 years ago, you had said that we don't start with our money, and this government money is going to go into the school system. But then, since the lottery started, over half of our Chicago schools have closed, and none of our children have received the education and the buildings to study in. What happened to them? Now, right here, I need to make a stand. I know 2 minutes is not going to be enough for me to tell you how I feel and tell you about our children. So right now, I have acted from 2004 all the way to 2012. Christopher Act had went over a transition. I'm talking about my child being moved around and don't get no education. I am asking for an individual hearing so that you can hear the rest of what I have to say.
Okay. Next, is Beasley in the house? Beasley? Are there 2 representatives from Beasley School? Going once, going twice, gone. Beethoven? Can we have 2 representatives from Beethoven?
Good evening, everyone from Burnham Park Network. I'm Cherie Williams-Jackson, and I'm the new contract principal of Beethoven Academic Center. Thank you all for coming out to support all of our schools. And this is a very important issue. This is an issue that is near and dear to my heart because these children look like me. I am a product of Chicago Public Schools, and I really know that I was educated by some of the best teachers in Chicago. We need to afford our children that same opportunity. That cannot happen if we are continually going by a rubric system that is designed for us to fail. It's unfair to our children, it's unfair to our community, and it's also unfair to administrators who are putting all that they have into making a vision and a mission for our children and our community. How are we going to create neighborhood and community schools if we have no neighborhood and community to create around? This is impossible, and we're climbing an impossible mountain. But I believe with the support that we have here from the parents and from the community and our teachers, we can make this a reality. But we have to stick together for our children. We need to be strong for our children and give them the best education. Thank you for saying the comments about Beethoven. Alderman Dowell, you're correct. I've spent lots of money on technology that I cannot use. So thank you for that. And I just want to ask you as our leaders to help us to teach our children and to educate them in a way that you would want your children to be educated to the very best of their ability.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Deborah Turner. I am a teacher in Chicago Public Schools for in excess of 20-some years. I, as of this January, have been at Beethoven for 2 years. I come from the far north side. I come where I can tell you the comparisons sadden me each and every day as I attempt to do the same job that I did at Field Elementary School, which is 7019 North Ashland. That is in Area 1, Area 2. That is the country club area of Chicago Public Schools. Let me tell you, I have tried. I have gone out of my way to be sure that I can give them the same opportunities that these students walk in the door with that we must provide, because they are rated and will be obligated to meet the same standards to go to high school, to go to college, and that's what we're doing. Common Core says everyone must go to college, or at least be ready. I'm saying to everyone, in comparison, treat us the way you are treating your children on the far north side, because I'm a witness. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to queue up 3 different schools. Can we have 2 representatives from Bronzeville High School? No. Burke School? 2 representatives from Cantor School? 2 representatives from Carnegie School. So Burke School, Cantor, Carnegie.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Melanie Redman, and I'm a teacher at Burke Elementary School, located on 53rd and King Drive. Sorry, I'm a little nervous, but not nervous about talking about my school. It's a numbers game. It's all about the numbers. Each and every child in CPS is represented by a number, their number, the student number, class size, the number of students, student-to-teacher ratio, capacity of the building versus actual student count, and most important, the test score number. Test scores, test scores, test scores. But I ask, if we're here for the kids, then why is it all about the numbers? As teachers, students are not numbers. We know our kids by first and last name. We can tell you their middle names, nicknames, mom's nickname, because we probably taught them as well. Depending upon the child, we could probably describe their living room, because Burke teachers, if a phone call won't do, we'll visit your home. We could probably tell you their favorite snack, what they ate, meals they ate at home. Sorry. We know the distance we have gone to find books and resources that we know our students need. When we go on our weekly runs to Walmart, we don't just go for ourselves. We get anything from white tees, underwear, soap, pencils, paper, because that's the nurture and support that Burke teachers provide. We extend ourselves way past any lesson in any textbook. See, number analysis of test scores will not tell you that. Number analysis will not tell you that last year, we lost one of our well-known graduates, George. Several of our students watched him take his last breath, then came to school the next day to take the ISAT test. See, at Burke, we address and educate the whole child. We are a staple in Washington Park community that takes pride in it. We assess the needs of our children and do whatever possible to gain the resources.
Hello.
Good evening. My name is Jessica Biggs, and I am the proud new principal of Burke Elementary School. I'd like to begin by thanking Mr. Price, Mr. Pruitt, members of the board, but most of all, I would like to thank the families, staff, and partners of Burke Elementary for coming.
Testing, testing. You can start your 2 minutes over.
I won't start over entirely, though. Most of all, I'd like to thank the family, staff, and partners of Burke Elementary School for coming out to speak and share the work that they do in service of the young people of Washington Park every day. I stand here before you to tell you not just that you should not close Burke Elementary, but specifically why now is the absolute wrong time to make a closing decision that would have a generationally negative impact on the young people and families of Washington Park. Burke is on the rise for the first time in more than a decade. This school year here has brought only new leadership to Burke, but also new teachers and a reinvigoration of veteran staff. The community is an integral part and support of Burke for the first time in many years. You have before you a document that outlines some key data that illustrates several ways in which Burke is truly on the rise. Academically, Burke is on the rise. Winter NWA measures of academic progress scores show that we are far exceeding the national average of 50% of students meeting their growth targets in both reading and math. In 5th grade specifically, an average of 82.8 of students are meeting their growth targets in reading, and more than 74% are meeting in math. The community is coming back to Burke. Our enrollment in the 2012-13 school year this year saw an increase of 10% from last year, and the community is truly engaged in the work of Burke. You will notice a table outlining the more than 11 partnerships that provide wraparound services to both students and families in Washington Park. Burke is recreating itself as an important hub of community support. That's the good stuff. It's also important for me to share with you the real and significant harms that closing Burke would have. Just a week ago today, at approximately 2 o'clock in the afternoon, there was a shooting at 53rd and King. A car riddled with bullets was stopped by Chicago police, bullet casings all over the street. Burke students were scheduled to dismiss at 2:45. After speaking with CPD on the scene, I'm happy to report that every single staff member at Burke supported to make sure students walked directly home. At just 15 minutes after dismissal, I was able to walk my students' neighborhood with police and make sure that all Burke students were safely indoors. I tell you this because had my students been required to walk more than a mile home, I cannot tell you that this story would have ended in the same way. I would like to leave you with a positive note. We begin the morning every day with a community meeting as a whole school. We begin with a creed that says, the decisions I make today will affect the rest of my life. If I say it can be done, I will achieve my goals. I am a student of Burke Elementary School.
I'm going to queue up the next schools. Carter, Chicago Arts, Chicago Military Academy, and Washington Park.
Hi, good evening everybody. My name is Joy Clendenning. I live in Hyde Park. I have 4 children in 3 different schools. I'm speaking tonight, I'm starting out by speaking for Cantor. I have a little bit of an issue of us going school by school because I do think this is a citywide issue. I just want to say that the fact sheet you were given tonight, you know, this is a utilization formula which has been questioned by lots of people and should be continue to be questioned. For Cantor especially, this is a school which was founded as part of a vision of an entire community in a process 10 years ago, which involved many stakeholders. Now maybe things need to be tweaked here and there, but this is a wonderful small school, which I believe has perhaps 1 empty classroom. You know, it's not a bad thing to have a couple hundred 7th and 8th graders together. In fact, it's a really great thing, especially in a neighborhood where some children do go on to other kinds of programs and they don't succeed there because what they need is to be in a small school which is going to pay attention to their needs. I just want to say I know there are a lot of schools here tonight and there are lots of schools who are not here tonight, and we need to stand in solidarity with all of them. These school actions have not been planned. These school actions really, you know, I've been coming out to the community engagement stuff. Is this engagement? I don't call this engagement. So I'm just hoping, I have, you know, some really good interactions with some of the people at the network, and I'm really hoping that we can do the hard work of coming together to figure out what's best for our communities. And that might mean keeping all our schools open until we figure out the best plan. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ms. Willis, and I'm from Andrew Carnegie. I served as the co-chair for PAC. I've served as the president for LSC at Hyde Park. I've been a parent volunteer for over 15 years. And all I have to say regarding the school closings, the list is already coming out in March, the preliminary list. I would like for you guys, you girl and guys on this board, to consider the crime rate, to consider our children who have to cross gang lines, to consider the parents who are already struggling trying to get their child to school on time. And when you get the child to school, I want you to consider the teachers who have to put up with the behavior of the children who they are there to teach. And also the students who have to deal with one another. This is not just about numbers. It's about the money, it's about relocation. My question is, how come majority of the African American schools located in this school district are on probation? Somewhere, someone's not counting the accurate numbers. Someone is not doing an excellent job. CPS representatives say they're doing an excellent job. You're not. It is not excellent. It is sub-excellent. You don't know what's going on the ground rules. I want you to consider in Woodline, in Washington Park, the homicide rate has increased over 22%. For each school that's closed, the problem will not be with the school that's closing. It's going to be with the receiving school. How can you house them? How can you do this? We have to be very careful when we make the last elections. I'm going to pray that your conscience are touched, because I already know what the end result is going to be. However, my last few seconds to each parent, each student, the teachers, members on the board, we are warriors. We are not going down without a fight. Consider what you're doing. Consider the endangerment of our children. Thank you.
Carter, 2 representatives from Carter. 2. Doolittle, 2 representatives from Doolittle. Drake and Dumas.
Good evening to everyone. My name is Teresa Maiden McNeil. I am the new assistant principal at Carter Elementary. I'm here today because I feel it will be a detrimental disgrace if we close all of the schools that are supposed to be closed in the Burnham Park network, especially for Carter Elementary. We are a new administration, and our main focus is the safety of our children. Our other main focus is to help them increase and be better human beings and have rigor and academic press and just enjoy coming to school and being educated. This is something that they are excited about, and to close the school for them will be turning out the light in their eyes of being educated. And I think that would be a total disgrace, especially when they have not had the opportunity to have many of the things that we have implemented into Carter Elementary. We have formed many partnerships, and the whole atmosphere of William Carter Elementary, which is 5740 South Michigan, has totally changed. Our children enjoy coming to school and they enjoy learning, and we love having them among us. Please consider keeping Carter Elementary open. We need the children need us.
Good evening, my name is Zulika Robinson and I am a Carter Elementary kindergarten teacher. Our school has come a long way. We have developed and are trying to establish a sense of pride within our students. Yes, we work with outdated technology and books, but we stay after school to ensure that our kids will have the opportunities that some of their Northside counterparts receive. In order for us to be productive and our students to thrive, the key term is consistency and support. We are asking for our leaders, community, parents, and students to support us as we unite to keep our school open. Our principal is new to us this year, and already there has been a great change. Students are elated and are enthused about learning. To move them right now would dim their hopes and their dreams, and we're hoping to keep that alive within our community. Thank you.
Great. And After that is Fermi. Two representatives from Fisk.
My name is Rick Coppola. I'm proud to represent Drake Elementary School as an 8th grade teacher. On January 9th, one of our former students came to visit. He did not share about his progress report or grades, nor did he come to ask for help with his high school coursework. And he didn't come to log service hours. On this afternoon, the sophomore came to share news that his mother, his only caregiver, a woman I knew for 4 years, was dying of cancer. As my heart sank into my chair, I realized our former student would need the support of fellow staff members and parents still involved in our school community. John B. Drake is much more than an underutilized school. We are a network, a family, comprised of committed teachers and staff, parents and students who all realize Drake is offering something different and unique amidst a myriad of choices within our community. Our data reveals one facet of our impact, as we are one of few schools in Bronzeville to report composite ISAT growth for 3 years, with 70% of our entire student body meeting or exceeding standards in reading and 74% in math. As UIC's esteemed professors, Taffy Raphael and Susan Goldman state, the work is exemplary at the school and can serve as an excellent model for building capacity in other CPS schools. Speaking of our school's cohesion and collaboration, we built a literacy curriculum aligned across the grade levels a full 4 years before CPS's formal adoption of the Common Core. This process encompassed the need of all of our learners, including the 24% of our population with special needs across 3 cluster programs. Our professional learning community is so strong that despite attrition amongst teachers and a change in admin leadership, we continue to make ISAT gains, graduating 8th graders with performance above the 90th percentile in reading and math for the last 2 years. And thinking about the progress that we have made at our school, our most profound impact has been in building and sustaining relationships. Sadly, on February 1st, we helped our former student bury his mother. And members of our staff entered the chapel. I saw my former student from afar, imagining the kaleidoscope of emotions moving through his head, wondering if they were anything like the emotions I experienced burying my dad when I was 11. And at that moment, he turned, saw me, and smiled. And in that moment, I knew he knew he was loved. Justin was and will continue to be a member of my family, and as his family, we have come together tonight to implore you to remember our school, not for being underutilized, but for delivering the highest quality instruction program, meeting the needs of all of our students in a safe community, and establishing and maintaining relationships that transcend both space, time, and your action council.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nia Gibson, and I currently attend Walter Payton College Prep. It has come to my attention that CPS is considering closing several schools, and included on this list is my former school, John B. Drake Elementary. I am here today not only to tell you not to close Drake, but I am here to aid you in understanding what would happen if you decide to close down this school. Drake has been a key part of the Bronzeville community since its opening. Many generations of these people have attended Drake, and they all have received a profound education. From a very elderly family friend, to my mom and her sisters, to my siblings and I, Drake has been an important aspect in our lives. I attended Drake from kindergarten through 8th grade. Through the years, my former classmates and I have seen and experienced several triumphs and failures, but our accomplishments have always outweighed our downfalls in the end. It was the guidance of our teachers and staff that encouraged us to do great things, which led to so many accomplishments. Ever since I walked through the doors of Drake, I have been welcomed into a loving and supporting family. Every step of the way, teachers, administrators, and staff have helped me to grow into an intelligent young lady who is not afraid to dream big and follow through with them. Their love and support became my foundation, and it has helped me to achieve many accomplishments, with my greatest accomplishment of attending Payton. Living in a community surrounded by people that have given up on their dreams and their future has given but attending Drake has kept me from turning towards these lifestyles. The curriculum and programs have kept me and several of my friends off the streets in a path to develop intellectually and become well-rounded people. These programs continuously affect the students each and every day in those classrooms. The reason I know this is because I, along with other alumni, are allowed to come back to visit our teachers and the younger children we had come to know and love, and mentor them and make sure they are on the right track. Closing the school will take away this opportunity, along with several others such as Spanish classes, art classes, access to libraries, and wonderful after-school programs and long-lasting partnerships with great companies such as Chicago Board of Options Exchange. If you have yet to comprehend the significance of John B. Drake Elementary to me and my community thus far, then remember this. Education comes from more than what is written in a textbook. It also comes from the knowledge of caring people. If you all truly care about the education that the students obtain in the Chicago public school system, then don't remove the hand that feeds and nurtures them. For taking away Drake is as one-third of grade caller said, breaking a memory string, a lifeline that keeps us all connected.
Hello, everybody. I'm representing Dumas Elementary, where our wonderful principal there is Mrs. King. How you doing? I say everybody is standing right now. We're standing in support. We're standing strong, and we're all here facing you all. The reason that we're all standing here facing you all is because when we say education is the key, education is truly the key. From the point that you walk into the principal's office or you walk in that front door and you see the maintenance men or the security guard, from any moment that you walk into that building, you see someone educating the student, whether it's putting them in their place when they're wrong or helping them out when they're right. But we all stand together as one family, united at Dumas. When I say a family, Dumas is a family. They have been my family for 10 years. I have 3 beautiful children that attend Dumas Elementary that whenever I can't be there or I can't get it or can't get it done, I know someone in that school, in that building, will help me and be there and put their lifeline on the matters for me and my children and for any one of the other kids to come in that door. From a parent to the staff members, to the principals, to the security guards, to the coaches, and even the Chicago police officers that walk into that building. When I say Miss King is more than just a mentor or just a principal, she's awesome. She's amazing. From the time she say good morning to our students to the time she dismisses them at the end of the day. Even when you're not right and you don't see something out of eye, her vision is to make sure that these kids are okay, they're safe, and that they're learning. No matter if you don't see how that vision is gonna be or how she's gonna put it out to you, at the end of the day, her job and her vision and all of the teachers there, from my son kindergarten teacher, Miss Nixon, that's gonna make sure that if I see someone else, I'm on them and I'm making sure that they are productive students, that they are gonna grow up to be productive young men and young women and productive in today's societies. So please, whatever you do, do not close Dumas Technology. I'm asking you that as a parent and as also someone that loves each and every one of those little boys and girls that walk in Dumas Elementary every single day.
So, we like 2 representatives from Fuller, Hart, Kosminski.
Good evening. I'm also a parent at Dumas, and unfortunately, this is my second time standing, at least this time I get to stand before you guys. The first time I didn't have this opportunity to speak when my kids' old school closed. So I thank you, first of all, for this opportunity to speak. We didn't have that the first time. We came to school on the 1st of June. By the 9th of June, we was told the 26th is your last day. So thank you for this opportunity. Now with Dumas, as she eloquently spoke and said, there's a lot of good things going on, but I do realize that there's a financial crisis happening here. And all I want you all to understand is, look at your numbers. Look what you have on this paper and ask yourself, is Dumas really one of the schools that needs to be closed based on the finances? We have an excellent technology program going on, but at the same time, it's cost effective. You know, we need a little bit more money some places. You know, we're getting a lot of help from WCPC and other organizations, but I don't think Dumas is the school to close at this point in time because 1, financially, it's not a threat. 2, it sits in an area where if other schools are to be closed, Dumas can be that safe haven to come to. We don't have a lot of gang issues, we don't have a lot of violence around us, but we do have a way of educating kids, feeling safe, you know, inside our building. As she spoke, the principal is an excellent principal. Our parent program is getting stronger, and the teachers are just outstanding. I refuse, absolutely refuse, as a parent, to move my kids again in less than 5 years. It's heartbreaking. They get attached, and now it's gone. So as a parent, I implore to you, don't close Dumas, but look at the numbers, look at the finances, and ask yourself, is this one of the schools that's really a threat? I mean, I'm looking at these numbers, tens and 20 millions of dollars. We're nowhere near that, you know. So think twice, take a look at it, and just say, maybe Dumas should stay open. It has a lot more to offer than other schools do.
Hello, my name is Jennifer O'Connor, and I'm here to talk about what will happen to the students at my school, Enrico Fermi, if Fermi closes. I'm a first grade teacher. We know these decisions are about numbers and money. We understand efficiency and bottom lines. Numbers are neat and meant to be added up to equal a certain value. What I am here tonight to say is that you cannot add up the value of my school, Fermi, with such an easy equation. How do you define what a school means to its community which inhabits its walls, especially a community with such a small voice and riddled with violence and other social woes? How do you quantify the parents who come to our parent library and access free books for their homes, or the parents who use our computers before and after school, or the 8th grade teacher who pays out of his own pocket so that none of his students miss the 8th grade class trip? How much are these things worth when we talk about buildings being underused and underutilized? This week alone, I know more than 7 students who have new winter coats, hats, mittens, and also food in their book bags to go home because we know our families and we know our students and our community's needs. We are a safe and stable center in these families' lives. Our students do not need to take a test or win a lottery to come to our school. We are a neighborhood school. How do you quantify this fact with numbers and equations when talking about closing our school, our community school? I ask you all to ask yourselves some tough questions when you contemplate closing Enrico Fermi. As you contemplate closing these school doors and sending my students to other schools which cross gang lines, add countless minutes to their bus commutes, and blacken the lights of one of the only safe havens in their communities, can you promise they will all be safe? Can you promise me their parents will have access to the same resources that they have access to at my school? Can you promise me they will have coats and hats? Can you promise me they will be able to be in the clubs like the ones offered at my school? Can you promise me all of the 8th graders will be allowed to go on their trip? Can you ask yourselves what you would want for your own children? Can you examine your definitions of the word utilized? Thank you.
My name is Josh Marberger. I'm a teacher at Fermi. I've been there for 4 years teaching in the middle school. How is it that we define utilization? Are we simply basing this idea on physical space and referring to each young mind as a 7-digit school ID number? Or are we basing this idea of utilization on the impact that a school has on its community? As an educator, I know which value is far more important. I, like many of my colleagues, teach because of the impact we hope to have on our babies. Fermi is not filled with just 266 7-digit numbers. We are an institution vital to our community. When asking my 8th graders about what makes Fermi a school worth keeping open, they overwhelmingly reply that Fermi is a community. Many of my students have attended 2, 3, 4, even up to 10 different schools during their grammar school years. For them to independently agree that Fermi is a community school where they feel respected and cared for, where they feel safe, where they feel the teachers know them, the clerks and teacher aides care for them like their own kids. Marquand, one of my 8th graders, said this morning, the Board of Education shouldn't close Fermi School. Our school is an environment where there is an amazing bond between students and teachers. If CPS closes down our school, they are closing that connection between teachers and students. Another student has attended Fermi since 2008, and has recently moved to Englewood. With the help of his teachers paying for his bus fare, he is able to continue learning in the environment where he feels safe and comfortable. A 7th grader, Ali, said, I chose to stay at Fermi because we have wonderful teachers and staff that I respect, and they respect me. I work hard, and they do anything to help me. My half-hour commute to Fermi is well worth it, and I plan to graduate from Fermi in the class of 2014. Utilization is when the entire 2nd grade, I'm out of time, but please read the rest of my comments.
Hello, my name is Stephen Gamble, parent of a Fuller Elementary School student. The school was turned around, which I'm not even speaking on that. What I'm speaking on is this. The fact that the board makes decisions. Last year they were saying the schools were failing. They turned that around, now they're saying they're underutilized. What's it gonna be? Okay, if you take a school, you shut down a classroom, you put 30 children in one classroom and leave the other ones empty instead of putting 15 and 15, or maybe 15, however, then you would have something to do, all right? Okay, see, the problem is not that the schools are failing, the board is failing, if you want to know the truth about the matter. Okay, it's not the teachers, it's not the parents, it's the board. You got businessmen trying to tell educators what to do. Businessmen need to take care of business and leave education to teachers, all right? Okay, we turned the farming industry over to businessmen, they destroyed it. We turned the car industry over to businessmen, they moved out of the country, destroyed that. Everything we've turned over to them, even the financial institutions, have failed. Now you expect us to turn our children's education over to you? Are you insane? We are a group of caring parents in here, educators. We are not going to allow you to take our schools. They are our schools, not yours, okay? By any means necessary, we're gonna get our schools, because they are ours, the taxpayers.
So I'm going to cue Mayo, 2 representatives from Mayo, 2 from Milburn, 2 from Mollison, 2 from Murray.
It's with great pleasure and pride that I come to you on behalf of Kosminski Community Academy. My name is Christine Kohler Hall. I'm a member of the Hyde Park community and a teacher in my 6th year at Kosminski. In the last year and a half, I've seen our school come from a chaotic environment, having had 5 principals within the course of a year, to a safe haven conducive to teaching and learning. The changes have been dramatic, beginning with the changes to our building. We've painted classrooms and hallways, added air conditioning, upgraded technology, including 2 computer labs. Incidents of bullying and physical fights have decreased tremendously, and police are no longer a constant presence in the school. Those former acts of physical violence mirrored the animosity between all stakeholders in the building. However, the current positive atmosphere and increased stability coincide with the arrival of our new administration. As a community, we have become stronger and simultaneously gentler with each other. The staff now works together passionately as a cohesive team, modeling our PBIS values, respect, responsibility, safety, and hard work. These changes in culture and climate are transforming our school and allowing us to focus on academic progress. In order to better serve our students, we've added partnerships with the University of Chicago, Metro Squash, My First Chess, SES Tutoring, Bright Stars, and many more. Our school has received grants from Takeda to purchase science equipment and International School of Science for online programming. Important additions for my first graders include arts integration programs. Reading in Motion combines music and drama into phonics and reading instruction. My First Media includes critical thinking while reiterating literacy lessons learned in other classroom discussions. With all of these positive changes in motion, it would be a mistake to close Kosminski at this critical moment. Our students are taking ownership in their education and behavior.